I'm here in beautiful Les, France for the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup, and we're here for that racing action. But I want a piece of action myself. We're going to do beginner versus amateur versus pro World Cup XCO edition. There's loads going on this week in Les. You've obviously got people lapping on the gondola. That side of the valley, you've got the World Cup downhill. That's the side of the valley I'm more used to. But actually, tomorrow, I'm going to be riding on this side of the valley on this XCO race course. Thank you to Shimano for lining this up, because I will be going head to head with someone who's had a lot of success here, Cannondale Factory Racing's Mona Mitterwallner, who won here by almost a minute last year. And I think I've drawn the short straw, because I'm not really the guy for this job, but I think someone who might be a bit more apprehensive than me is Nick, behind the camera. Because I'm the amateur, Nick is the beginner. Obviously, Mona is a super fast pro, and we're going to see just how fast we are against her. In the pro corner is Mona Mitterwallner. At 22 years old, she holds 2 cross-country marathon world titles, multiple World Cup wins and several national champs jerseys. The Cannondale Factory rider is also selected for the Austrian women's Olympic team and will definitely be on the hunt for gold. The amateur racer is me, Neil Donoghue, GMBN presenter, ex-pro, downhill racer and enduro racer. Nick, did I ever tell you about the time I raced over there in 2004? I'll tell you later, it's a long story. My cross-country experience is limited. I used to ride one a lot, but that was a while ago. I'm more of an e-biker and downhill rider nowadays. Talking about e-bikes, I have a little trick up my sleeve later on, but yeah, this track looks short, fast, and really physically challenging, so I don't fancy my chances. And this is Nick, one of our creators at GMBN. He's a man of many talents, filmer, editor, mountain biker. We ask a lot of our creators, including being able to ride quickly and safely with a massive camera bag on their back, and Nick is the safest pair of hands we have. A solid rider who can ride fast without any risk to him or the £1,000 worth of camera kit on his back. Right, it's morning in Les. It's a race day for myself and Nick. It's actually a down day for cross-country racers, but it's amazing watching them on the short track last night at the XCC. Proper got the hairs on the back of my neck standing up, how fast they were bombing around some of those corners. So we've been welcomed to the Cannondale pits in proper cross-country style with a mightily strong espresso. And we're going to check out the bike that myself and Nick will be riding. And to keep things nice and as fair as possible, we're going to be riding the same bike that Mona herself is racing on. This is a Cannondale Scalpel. So the Scalpel is a proper cross-country weapon. It's a 100mm travel full suspension, 29er of course. Lots of carbon fibre as you'd expect. It's got that lefty Ocho fork, which I've never ridden. Quite interested to try that out. FSA gradient carbon bars, and also of course this is fully decked out in Shimano's XT Racing, so it's got all the top spec Shimano kit on this bike. Shimano say XTR is the pinnacle of mountain bike technology, designed for the demands of professional racing at the highest level. And it's often where you see the newest innovations and tech from the Japanese company. Things like Hyperglide Plus, the tech for quick and smooth shifting up and down the block, or ICE technologies with the brakes, the discs using an aluminium core sandwiched between stainless steel to dissipate the heat. XTR has the advanced materials like a combination of aluminium, titanium and steel in a cassette with premium construction, but it's from there that the tech starts trickling down to the more budget-friendly group sets. What the racers get, the everyday mountain bikers can also enjoy. They've got a really strong team of riders under this pit. They've got Alan Hadley and Charlie Aldridge, who went 1 and 2 in last night's short track race, and of course Mona Mitterwallner. But today they've also got Neil and Nick riding the Cannondale Scalpel. So we're looking forward to riding this bike. It is decked out with Shimano XTR 12 speed. This is actually Kenta Gallagher's bike himself, a really talented rider who's now a performance coach with the Cannondale Factory Racing team. So Kenta on this bike has got a 1045 12 speed cassette, so not the biggest one. I was looking for a 51 tooth there, but I don't have it. 34 tooth chainring, and of course XTR components throughout. There are some differences between Kenta's bike and Mona's. She's a much lighter rider, and actually Kenta's got the big 4-pot XT brakes on here. So still a super fast bike, but actually probably better suited myself and Nick as well. So it's about time we take this out on the track and try and do the Cannondale Scalpel proud. Before I headed out on the track to try and beat the incoming storm, I caught up with Mona to see if she fancied my chances.
If it's muddy on Sunday and you are going to race on dry, it's going to be a bit different. But on the climbs, I think I will be faster. I hope so. I mean, I'm training 6 days a week, so always I'm doing something wrong. And I mean, we are doing 6 laps and you have 1 all out, so that's a big difference.
I know, so I'm going to go as fast as I can for 1 lap.
Yeah, and we have to do that 6 times.
Yeah.
But I think the woman race will be fast, so I bet on myself.
Yeah, definitely. So I've jumped into practice, and it is a challenge. Like, obviously I'm cruising up the climbs, but then there's even tricky stuff. There's a couple of technical little bits on the climbs where I messed up, and then you're pushing up, and then even sort of logs and stumps to get over on the flat, and then you're dealing with stuff like this. So super steep drop in to roots. Obviously the moment conditions are as good as they'll get. It's really dry, it's really grippy. We know for the race on Sunday it could be much different affair, but it's an eye-opener. I've never ridden an XCO course, and I've not ridden it at 100% of my max HR yet either, so this is going to be a different matter when I'm blowing out of my rear end. After a quick look at some of the track, it was time to get racing. Just about to start the lap. Ready for a world of pain. We're off. Top first guy. This is interesting. Oh, celebrate. What the hell?
Well done, dude.
Good luck, Nick. Thanks. It's really good. It's really, really fun. But my God, you know, these 2 long drags. The long drag followed by some quite hard uphill bits where you've got to power through little ruts or over obstacles. So, I mean, I'm you know, throwing away time on the climb and then actually on the technical bits on the climb as well. But it's brilliant, yeah. You know, I've always really enjoyed watching XC, and to actually be reminded of what it's like in real life is great. But yeah, good luck, Nick. It's your turn now. Rain's coming in for you as well. So I literally just beat the rain. It's just started now. So obviously this track is a lot of grass. So it's going to affect the race. Obviously we've got Mona's times from last year when she won the race. So I can compare my times or our times to the dry last year and to whatever we find comes tomorrow. But Nick, you have to ride in the rain, I'm afraid, and this grass is going to be primo. Nick, it's now your turn to ride the track.
Thanks, Neil. Why couldn't I have gone first, eh?
I squeezed it in literally as the rain started. I've just been watching, and I'm afraid to say that corner just there looks, looks almost impossible, Nick.
Well, I'm going to make you look really good.
I guess it's worth trying if you want to do it, Nick, because conditions are going to be really difficult for the races tomorrow. So at least we'll have my dry lap to compare to Mona's last year, and we'll have your wet lap to see what Mona might be dealing with tomorrow. All the XC races will be dealing with tomorrow. So Nick, you drew the short straw, but you've got a nice bike at least.
Yeah, looking forward to it, I think. Cheers.
3, 2, 1.
Hey Nick, good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I've had no warm-up. These are my racing excuses, by the way. The bike I've never ridden. That's a bit too small for me. What else? A track I've never ridden. I don't even know where I'm going, if I'm honest. It is going to be so slick. I can already tell. Already blowing out my ass. This is dreadful. This gear ratio is something else. I do not have the power for this. How the f do they do this in 10 minutes? I think it took me 10 minutes to do that climb. No joke. I'm done already. I'm maybe about a quarter of the way through. I don't even know where to go here. I know what I'm doing. Get off. And around there. I want my e-bike back. Taking the only inside I've done today. Oh my freaking god.
God, Nick! Nick, come this way, don't go down that bit. Good decision, Nick. What? The roots. Nick, the crowd are going wild. Stay on your bike, Nick! Oh, well held.
And then straight into another climb. I genuinely can't do this. Holy sh**. I'm glad you can't see my face right now. I'm not looking forward to the next bit. Ow! And I'm in pain. Why am I still talking? I ain't getting up there. Holy sh**. I feel like Steve Jones whenever you put him on a normal bike. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever stopped for shelter during a race. I think that's a world first. I'm gonna claim that. Oh, for sakes. Look at this. This wasn't in the briefing. Where's the line on this one? What the This is probably the fastest I've been all day. Hey, hats off to every XC rider here. I don't dare do it. Oh, do I dare? I'm gonna do a little jump. Woo! And that's about it. And drop her in. I'm fine.
A trooper.
I went down on a drop.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm gonna chase him because there's a really hard grass bit coming up.
Oh my god. It is so slick. How am I gonna make this corner? Oh my god. XC! Oh my god. Oh god, right. As they would do if it were a real race. Oh, we're not gonna make that corner. Well, I pedalled though. Oh, so much in my eyes. Now, just like they do.
The winner! He's a winner in my eyes. Stop the clock. Nick,
It's so lovely up there.
I feel like you deserve something for that. It feels like you've won.
Hats off to them because I don't know if you can see I went down on a rock garden up there.
Oh,
I'm all good,
yeah.
but it is so slick. And I wish I went first now. I wish you were here right now.
With the sun coming back out on the race day morning, the track was starting to dry a little, and with Nick and I setting down the gauntlet, it was time for Mona to get racing. Right, I'm back in the shed. I've somewhat recovered. I'm going to give you the lowdown of how fast the cross-country races are. Newsflash, they are quite quick, believe it or not. So I actually jumped onto the track while some of the pro men were still training. Don't tell anybody, because there was a weather warning for the end of that time slot. So I wanted to get a lap in before the storm came, and I did just about. It literally started raining as I came off the track. So first, let's look at Mona's time from 2023 when she won the race in really good dry conditions. Her fastest lap was 12 minutes 20. This year, 2024, Mona finished 10th. Her fastest lap then was a 13:09. That was lap 7, the last lap actually. So of course, myself and Nick only had to do 1 lap. We didn't do 6 or 7. That would have been a very different matter. So we had all out for 1 lap. My time was 14 minutes 45. So compare that to Mona's 12 minutes 20 from the previous year. And in the same conditions, I've got to say, I did go all out. My average speed was 12.5 kilometers an hour, max speed 38 kilometers an hour, average heart rate of 174, max was 181. I think my max heart rate is around 182, 183. Well, I haven't hit that for a while, so it could be coming down a little bit. So it felt to me like I went as hard as I could. Obviously, it was surprisingly technical, I've got to say. The actual, even some of the climbs was really hard. There was one kind of rutted left where you had to put a load of power in. And in the practice lap, I messed it up and I lost my balance, and then you have to basically jump off and get going. So there's a lot of those situations where you just can't sort of back off. You've got to go hard. And even on the flat, you're going up and over logs, and the downs, obviously, they just go past so quickly that you don't really recover, and it's a technical track, so you're trying to push a bit on the descents. Initially, I thought maybe I could make a bit of time with the descents, but in reality, I don't think it plays out like that at all. Like when I was with the other guys, I was kind of riding the same speed as them. So am I making much time on Mona? Seconds, if anything. So I don't think so. So she absolutely smoked me in the dry. And actually, yeah, 13:09, she was still 1 minute and 39 seconds faster than me in those really tricky conditions of this year. Next time, obviously Nick had much worse conditions, probably than even Mona faced on the Sunday. So we did this on the Saturday. It was as bad as it got. Nick rode in the storm. Fair play to him, he went out and did it. I didn't really expect him to do it. His time was 25 minutes 51. And actually there were bits of it where he kind of just had to get off and push. It was just so slippy. So it was really hard for Nick to put in a reasonable time that was going to be comparable. Obviously, Nick isn't in probably the same shape as I am. I'm sure Nick wouldn't mind admitting that. But he really did face really tricky conditions. And the track, like I say, it was just so technical. Looking at the other races, Puck Petersay won the race this year with the fastest lap of an 11:59. So 21 seconds quicker than Mona went last year in her fast laps. Alan Hatherley had a brilliant weekend. He won the short track and the XCO, went back to back. So that's the men's elite, obviously, and he won with a fast lap of 10 minutes 3 seconds. So absolutely smoked me and Nick. There you go. The under-23 women actually in the worst conditions of the whole probably race weekend, not when we rode, but Isabella Holgren had a fast lap of 13:02, so still a lot faster than me or Nick. So hopefully that gives you some sort of perspective on just how quick these people go. And like I say, 7 laps of that intensity, trying to not make any mistakes on the technical stuff and nail those climbs. It's truly impressive. I came away from the weekend feeling kind of inspired by those cross-country races and obviously over the valley. I love the downhill, but actually it was kind of a wake-up call for me to just give those cross-country races full respect and show up that I'm a little bit off the pace.